bitches, welcome to your favorite garage podcast with Double D, LD, and DJ. It's Bitches with a Mic.
And just like every band has a garage phase, so do we. Until you bitches pony up and pay us for a studio.
That's right. We are at $0 right now, so it's only up from here.
Keep the donations coming, folks. Really appreciate them.
Exactly. Today we're going to be going into the Free Britney movement that we've seen all over every social media platform this weekend. And then we'll be doing an interview with our resident go-to lesbian. LD, do you want to take us into the Free Britney movement?
Yeah, there's a list of people that are going to hell for what they did to her. And,
yep.
Top of that list is Justin Timberlake, ladies and gents.
Yeah. Really upsetting because I do love JT, loved NSYNC, love him as a person until Saturday morning when I watched this documentary. But if you look back at previous interviews, history, anything like that, like he kind of has displayed that he's a fuckboy and sucks, and we just didn't pay attention, which is upsetting.
And it's when Britney was going through, it showed a lot of this in the documentary, but just in general too, when Britney was going through a lot of like slut shaming in the media and cheating allegations when they ended their relationship, he kind of just laughed it off and then rode that high to like start his solo career.
It's so fucked. What did he say? He was like,
in one of the interviews, someone was laughing, and they're like, Justin, we just want to ask you one thing. Did you fuck Britney? And he starts laughing and says, yeah, I did. And then I think he said he was kidding, but
what a fucking imbecile.
Along,
yeah.
And while she was just getting dragged through the fucking mud by every news outlet, every interview, it was insane.
Well, yeah, first of all, in this day and age, can you imagine any reporter asking if she's a virgin to her face, which they did, talking about her boobs, like just anything that they did to her is absolutely insane to me that it was ever allowed.
How old was she at the time? I forget.
I think she was like
17, 18, or 18 or something?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Maybe 18.
And the one interview, oh my God. Every woman besides Britney involved in this is absolutely just plummeting to the pits of hell.
Yeah.
She, like I said, she's already almost turning to dust, so she's fine. But Diane Sawyer
can eat my ass.
Yes, and then it was the governor of Maryland's wife, I believe.
Yeah, that said
she said, if I had the opportunity to shoot Britney Spears, I think I would.
She said this
as someone with a public platform about a teenage girl.
Yeah,
like get a fucking grip.
I cannot believe that is insane. You shouldn't say that about anybody. Number one,
exactly.
Let alone. You're the governor or whatever the fuck she is.
The governor's wife.
Yeah, the governor's wife. You're saying that about somebody, you dumbass.
And it was a teenager who's already being subjected to just dirt from the fucking media. And then it was weird because Diane Sawyer kind of defended her too. And it was just like bizarre all around. And it was really sad. Like obviously if you're not familiar, like Britney Spears is in a conservatorship with her dad who's been proven to be abusive and takes advantage of the situation and like her money, kind of.
Well, not kind of.
I know.
Well, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. If you haven't seen the documentary, go to Hulu. It's weirdly under like the New York Times or something like that, but it's called Framing Britney. And get some napkins ready. You're gonna have tears. We all did watching it. My mouth was open literally the entire time. My jaw was on the floor out of disgust and disbelief that this could happen to anybody, let alone a celebrity that's making millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, I'm a straight up bitch, and I was sniffling. I was like, it was so appalling, and it was just the paparazzi that she had to endure at that time too was just a different level. And obviously it's like the conversation on mental health now is like different, but the fact that she was going through such a public mental breakdown, and she obviously was kind of just like needing help, and she just wanted to be left the fuck alone, and everyone was just making a big joke out of it and just kind of let her suffer. And they basically what they did was they ripped her to shreds all throughout the media, and then were surprised that she had a reaction to it. when you think about it, because like they're the ones that led her to that point.
Yeah, well, yeah, she was so happy to shave off her head, which we now know was because people were all over her all the time, touching her hair all the time, and she just wanted to be left the fuck alone. So, hey, more power to you. And then she walked out with an umbrella and beat the shit out of a paparazzi's car, and he had the fucking audacity to be upset about it.
Oh,
Sir,
the nerve of that man in that documentary. He said, so he was the one who, like, yeah, like you said, the umbrella was, like, she beat his car with an umbrella, but they interviewed him, and they said, or he said, she had never given us any indication that she wanted us to leave her alone. And the person interviewing him said, what about when she said, leave me alone? She straight up said, leave me alone. Like, you should be ashamed of yourselves. And obviously, when you see 30-plus paparazzi following this poor girl, just wanting to hang out with her friends or go get lunch or whatever she's doing, it's fucking ridiculous and sad. Especially because she was a teenager at the time. She wasn't even an adult yet.
Right. And if you, now going back to it, like if we look at her popular songs, my personal top 2 favorites, number 1 being Lucky. She's literally talking about how she just wants to be left alone and how sad she actually is. Because it says she's so lucky she's a star, but she cries in her lonely heart thinking, if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? And nobody fucking batted an eyelash at it. They just were like, oh, it's a good song, that's it. But she's literally crying out for help, and she's like 18.
And it's so sad because the conservatorship, maybe at first, just because we hadn't really seen something like that on like a public platform, I guess.
Right.
Maybe at first it was in good spirits. I don't know enough about him. But
right.
It would have been beneficial for maybe a very short period of time. Not for the last however many years it's been, when she's clearly proven that she's completely competent. She's done a residency in Vegas. She's done multiple world tours.
Yeah.
If she's that high functioning and they're going to tell her that she needs someone to manage her finances and just her as a person, then that just doesn't make any sense. And they even refer to it. There's a legal court document that they show where they refer to her conservatorship as more of a hybrid business model because she's so high functioning, which that completely negates what a conservatorship is for. So they basically admit that they don't make any fucking sense and it's just for money and a power trip.
Well, yeah, and the sad thing is that Britney her money is hiring her dad's lawyer to go through all of this. So not only is she paying to get fucked over, but she can't even she can't even stop it.
And in the documentary, too, they said, remember, they had that lawyer that she wanted to represent her, and the judge wouldn't let her appoint her own lawyer. They chose it for her, which, again, doesn't make any sense. They basically, the whole thing was just showing how fucked up the system is and how skewed against Britney it was, because logically, she should have been out of this years ago.
Oh, yeah.
She's proven that she's completely competent, and that there's just no need for it anymore. If you, like I said, I don't think it's fair that if she's making millions and millions of dollars in revenue and she's memorizing choreography, she's memorizing like, what songs she has to do, like the set list, night after night for multiple years for different tours, different residencies, and they're going to say that she can't manage it, like she can't make decisions for herself. That doesn't make any sense. And the fact that when it started, they kicked off very prominent members of her team, like her assistant, that just kind of shows that they knew what they were doing was like fucked up, and anyone who like actually valued her and was close to her would like see right through that. Right.
It's, the whole thing is just so fucked up. But the, what did that one lady, I don't even know who she was, but she was like, her mom just was trying to do the best for her.
It was the lady from the record label that first signed Britney. And she was saying the mom, she could tell, had Britney's best interest at heart and just wanted her to get like what she wanted. She wanted her to become famous because Britney wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I had only met the dad one time, and he said, the only thing he ever said to me was, my daughter's going to make me enough money to buy me a boat. And she said, and that's all I'm going to say about him.
What a sack of shit.
Yeah, and it was interesting that he got appointed as the conservator because they didn't have a close relationship when she was growing up at all. So so like I said, it's very convenient that he would pop up now when her finances need someone to be in
Right.
control of them. Just like, and then also it was, what was I going to say? She said, I don't care who, she basically admitted she didn't care if she was under conservatorship. She would be fine with anyone independent being her conservator, any like a bank, anything like that.
Yeah, because you need, I mean, in that type of situation, you need somebody that's unbiased and just has the finances and stuff like that, that has no personal take in the matter.
And she basically just said, anyone but my dad, he scares me. I don't want him to be my conservator. And they basically said, fuck you, because it's still him. So
yeah, the Court of California, or whatever you want to call it, if you're listening to this, you can fucking eat everyone's ass on this podcast because you have literally raked her over the coals for 12 plus years now and aren't doing jack shit about it. She just had another court hearing and didn't really get anything accomplished except that Jamie Lynn Spears is her if she were to die tomorrow, she's the point of contact to execute her estate stuff, which would go to her boys.
And I think it's very, very convenient that people forget that Kevin Federline, her ex, has a restraining order against Jamie Spears, like, basically for the order of their children. So, and that's Britney's conservator. So the fact that he doesn't feel comfortable having their grandpa around their kids, yet he's been appointed to make all of Britney's decisions, doesn't make any fucking sense.
Right.
And it just shows that they're blatantly ignoring someone who's clearly is in an abusive situation and has been ever since she's been growing up, it sounds like.
Right.
And I just want to know, too, where the fuck is the rest of her family in this? Like, I know that him and her mom are divorced.
And I know that her mom, Lynn, is currently trying to make strides in Britney's case and get the dad off of it, because clearly everyone knows that guy's a piece of shit. So I know that she's trying to help her as much as she can, but there's only so much that people can do, because he literally runs, like, she can't even leave the house without consent from him, which is why I think displayed on her Instagram, and anytime you see her out, she looks so fucking out of it and heavily medicated that I'm sure that they're doing that on purpose so she doesn't have a mental break or whatever they think is going to happen. But it's still, you can't do that to a functioning person. That's insane. And
it's really sad because when you, like, see her earlier interview, she was very, very, like, well-spoken and well-articulated, and she's very confident and knew exactly what she wanted, and she even said, like, how in control she felt and how much she, like, loved that about her career and all this stuff. And then now, because she's under conservatorship, she hasn't done an interview in years, and if she has, it's been under a very, very, very watchful eye, so she can't say anything that they would deem, like, unacceptable, basically. And so it's very clear why they kicked certain members of her team off, because they would be the people that were trying to help her.
Right. And her last residency in Vegas that was supposed to happen, they had, like, this big reveal where she was going to come out on stage, perform a song, and then do an interview afterwards. And she made them wait for a long time. It was a huge crowd of people, paparazzi, the whole thing. And she went up into the stage, came out, smiled, proceeded to walk down the stage, walk off the steps, and back into a car. So, queen to that, because she said to herself, they can fucking fuck off, man, because I'm not doing shit until they give me my life back. Which, queen, I wanted to go see that residency because I was finally 21 and could go, but not under that.
All the media can, honest to God, eat shit.
Well, now they're apologizing.
I know, but it's like, I mean, at the same time, it's, like, good for, like, acknowledging it, but it's, like, too little too late sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Because, like, during the documentary, I got so sad when I saw the Family Feud thing, when it was like, what has Britney lost this year? And the answers were her mind, her fans, her hair, and her kids. It was so fucked up, and it's like, imagine someone doing that now. It's just, and she was, oh my God, that poor woman. She was legitimately beaten down again and again and again and again by every single media outlet, by every talk show host, by everyone. And then she has a reaction which is literally just to cut her hair.
Yeah, valid reason.
And they're like, oh, she's absolute fucking whack job. It's like, no, she's not. Like, if anything, you're the reason why she's in that position.
Right, yeah.
Which is
I mean,
sad.
they 51-50'd her several times, which at that point, if she's on the point of a psychotic break, that could have been valid, just like the beginning of this conservatorship. It could have been in her best interest, but that should have lasted however long it needed to get her back into her right mind, or whatever mind that she needed to be in. But it, like you said, if you can go out there and perform on stage and do all this other shit, there's no reason why you should still be in a conservatorship.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense, and like, it just shows that you don't ever know what's going on with someone, because she was like America's sweetheart kind of, and then everything started happening, and then just as fast as they built her up, they tore her down.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was guilty of that. I feel like growing up, you saw her shave her head and you didn't know why, and you were like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the hell is happening? But now you look back and you're like, oh my God, it was just a cry for help, and everybody should have listened, but they didn't, because she was at the beginning of media, and like when social media started taking off, she took the brunt of all of it.
I did see there's a positive. Did you see that there's attorney Lisa McCarley calls upon 100-plus lawyers in Los Angeles to request the termination of her conservatorship. So she basically, and she called out one of the lawyers, I think, that they interviewed in that thing that worked for Jamie Spears, and said this was a blatant violation of her rights.
Yeah, human rights.
And it basically needs to be dealt with. And she called over 100-plus other lawyers to help her basically defend her and get her a new trial and all that, which is a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Things are looking, like, I think since the documentary came out, things are hopefully going to go better for her.
Right. And, well, I mean, yeah, as much as we can all look at her Instagram and be like, she is not okay with all the black mascara or eyeliner or whatever that is all over her face constantly. She does random dances and doesn't make sense, but now you can look at it and say it's a cry for help and she needs help. This is crazy.
Or they're like, I'm pretty sure they're medicating her. And then I know that pretty recently when the residency that you were talking about, how she just walked out, she canceled it right after and was like, it's for my dad's health reasons, quote unquote. But they said that she was in a mental institution and had been there against her will for months, which is just absolutely insane to me. And her boyfriend released a statement too.
Which never happens. He never talks to the public.
Yeah, he does not. But he posted on his story and said, now it's important for people to understand that I have zero respect for someone trying to control our relationship and constantly throwing obstacles our way. In my opinion, Jamie's a total dick. Jamie is Brittany's dad. I won't be going into details because I've always respected our privacy, but at the same time, I didn't come to this country to not be able to express my opinion in freedom. Which,
where the fuck is he from?
I don't know. But like you said, that's wild because he does not really, he kind of just minds his business and doesn't usually make statements like that. And I'm just surprised. I know you said, like you said, there's like not much that anyone could really do, but it is wild to me that like Jamie Lynn Spear, like her sister, like no one has really said anything.
Well, yeah, except her brother that nobody knew she had. Did an interview.
He wasn't making any fucking sense in that. Let's just be real. He was saying something, but he wasn't really saying anything.
Right, yeah. But yeah, Jamie Lynn, I don't know where you are, but help a sister out.
I'm just so confused. Like, if that was my sister, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know, I don't know if they're also have just been conditioned the same way because they grew up the same. You know what I mean? It's just, it's very weird, and I don't know. It's such a weird situation that she's kind of like her and like Amanda Bynes are like the only Hollywood celebrities I've seen in like conservatorships.
Yeah, poor Amanda Bynes.
I know. Hope she's well, too.
Yeah.
Amanda, if you're listening, queen, we love you still.
Oh, man.
Just for She's the Man Alone, that woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's seeing heaven, I think.
But, yeah, poor Brittany. Don't think you'll ever listen to this. If you do, we
are
with you, queen. Free Brittany. Yeah. We're going to get it trending all over everybody. It's going to be in my bio for the rest of my life, I'm pretty sure.
I honestly think that with all the attention it's been getting, hopefully, that they'll be able to, like, because once things get enough scrutiny in public and it hurts someone's image enough, like,
Right.
well, like the Los Angeles kind of like the off, you know what I mean? Once it hurts people's image enough, they'll kind of take a step, which, like, it's sad that it has to come to that, but if we're getting it enough attention, I think hopefully they'll be able to
do something.
Also, just on a final note, I need all of you to look up a picture of Jamie Spears, please. Look at that man in the fucking eyes and tell me that you think he should be in charge of anything, ever.
He looks like
He looks like Casper the fucking Ghost just smoked 85 blunts in a row.
Well, yeah, and he also looks like he just stepped off the porch of a beaten down trailer in a wife beater and a baseball bat with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
And just murdered someone.
Yeah.
So just imagine all that put together, and that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
And with that, yeah, he can eat shit.
Yep.
And hopefully the years are not kind to him in the future.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets taken down out of that role and that whole conservatorship can just get abolished. And if 2021 can give us anything, it'll give us that.
Yeah. And Jamie Spears, if you're listening, fuck you. Just wanted to say that right off the top. I hope you are. I know our old white man audience is very, very high. So.
Yeah, I know. Next up, we have DJ's segment with the resident lesbian Wifey to do an interview. Let's get into it.
Ciao bitches, DJ here with our dating and or sex segment of the day. I have resident lesbian, codename Wifey, in the studio garage. Say hello, Wifey.
Yep.
Hello, here I am.
Are you excited
Are you nervous?
to be here?
It's another day.
So happy to be here with you. I'm excited personally to conduct this interview because I've been trying to become a lesbian for 26 years now. I have failed every year. I hope this next year brings different luck. But I'm excited to kind of get into your head, maybe get into your vagina, maybe not. Probably not.
Whatever.
You can.
We love women in this house.
Yep.
Double
I
D
mean,
has
garage.
given me permission
Yep.
to put that on the record.
Yep.
So to kind of get into it, I'm interested in how it was coming out, kind of how old you were, had you been dating men before, did you know you were a lesbian when you were drawing and coloring books as a 5-year-old? Or did it come to you prom night when you didn't want the dick inside of you? Just kind of give us a feel for how that came about.
It came to me mid-high school, and I would, like, see a woman and be like, wow, she's attractive. But then I would see a guy and I'd be like, ew.
No, thank you.
Yeah. But I can also appreciate a very attractive man.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I questioned myself, but also at the same time was like, you're in high school, don't fuck around, like, you're gonna get made fun of type of a thing.
Okay, so there was kind of a mental battle.
100%.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was 18 and a half, 19 roughly when I came out.
You had already graduated high school.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I was dating somebody.
Had you slept with men in the past?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you were playing the part.
I was a slut.
Yeah, you were.
Capital S on that. Absolutely.
Was there a specific type of guy, like sporty, anything like that you were into?
Like, did you like a feminine physique?
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Confident.
No.
I want a confident, cocky motherfucker.
Okay. Okay.
Not super surprising,
Okay.
if you know her personality.
Okay. So you had a type of guy, but in the back of your head throughout high school, you're like, but I'm
Wow,
more
I
interested
wish
here.
This was a vagina type of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Huh. Okay, so you come out after high school. Who do you come out first to?
Well, my mom caught me.
No! What does that
This person that I was seeing.
mean? Woman.
Yep.
Okay.
Was living with me while she was going to college.
Okay.
It was like a transition type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we would wake up and be cuddling. Well, of course, my mom came down one morning before work. At
Oh, it
like,
was your mom's house?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
at like 5 a.m.
Classic.
and saw us cuddling. And then she did it again. And then, of course, we were cuddling. And it was just a repetitive thing.
Huh.
Of course, I fucking know Wifey.
Mm-hmm.
And then she told me that I was no longer allowed to have that person over at the house.
Just like if you were a straight woman,
Yeah.
you can't have boys over at this age. Or did you feel like it was
No, it was
different?
like, this person can't stay the night type of a thing.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, Mom, she's been staying the night for 6 months. It's not going to change, period.
Classic wifey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also classic.
Yep.
Don't tell me what to do.
I came out to my father, and he asked me if I was sure,
Mm-hmm.
and questioned me a lot.
Classic
He
boomer.
said,
Mhm.
yep, he said, pretty fucking sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like vagina.
Exactly. Yeah, and then to my friends, I don't even know how I did it with my friends. Just probably.
They were probably expecting it.
Probably.
They were like annoyed it took you so long.
They were probably
I saw those
annoyed.
basketball shorts.
Exactly. They were probably annoyed I wasn't hooking up with them. Type of a thing.
Yeah.
Valid.
That's a classic guy response back. I knew there was a reason you weren't hooking up with me. It's like, no, you just suck, but also, I am a lesbian.
Yeah.
So.
Which is fine.
That's actually your personality, but
Yeah.
if we can chalk it up to
Yeah.
your sexuality.
Sure.
Okay, so you've come out now.
Mm-hmm.
Full-blown lesbian.
Yep.
It's happening.
Mhm.
Were you single for long enough that you experienced lesbian dating app culture? What does that look like?
Lesbian dating app is something else.
Because I know gay guys have Grindr, which is a very specific place.
Mm-hmm. So-
And
Dick
is there
pics
something
everywhere.
like that for lesbians?
Back in my day, years ago, before I was married,
Before Double D took
Exactly.
your heart.
I was on Tinder, and Tinder was my game, and Tinder is where I pulled the bitches. And
Mm.
yeah, Tinder. I mean, people talk about Tinder now, and they're like, "Oh, Bumble and Grindr and eHarmony and all that," but Tinder was the shit back then. So
Okay, was it a vibe of like, we're on here to meet up and hook up? Or is it kind of a mix of like people looking for relationships versus just hookups?
I would say 75-25 type of a thing, and the 75 is like, I'm here to hook up, but every once in a while you would like meet that person and be like, "Hey, let's go."
That's super surprising since
share an
a
appetizer.
lesbian's like classic
I
second
was
date is a
gonna
U-Haul.
say that.
So that's surprising.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask if you thought that stereotype was
I thought I was
more
gonna be
true,
married
or
100 times before I met my wife.
Really?
100%.
I always see those
Lesbians
like, memes where
are-
it's like
yeah.
second date. Oh, we're already engaged.
Well, if you think about it, like having two women in a relationship's hormones, things move quickly. You know what I mean? Because a lot
That's
of the
fair.
time,
There's like two minds emotionally masturbating
Yes.
in the future, whereas typically the guys are very present.
yes,
Yeah. Huh. I never thought about it like that.
yeah, that's how I think about it. It's like it's not surprising because
Yeah.
women are very emotional. So the minute they feel that connection or whatever, they just
They're
want
like,
to
so
jump.
we
again.
will have a future together.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yep,
I feel like I'm not that emotional, though, for a lesbian. Like, I'm an emotional
you're
person,
not. No,
but I'm not like, hey, let's get married on
Yeah.
our second date and then have a child.
How many people have you proposed to? Hot, just a quick question.
Two.
No, but I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Okay, so we have dating apps in your day.
Mm-hmm.
Tinder was
Mm-hmm.
the one-stop shop. Okay, so then hookup culture aside from dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
As a straight female, there's this feeling of like, I'm not going to put out being in quotes, being penetrated. Lesbian sex is very different.
Mm-hmm.
Is there kind of a classic milestone, if you will, of being like, oh, if I do this with a woman, then she means a lot to me? Or is the sex for a lesbian just kind of completely different?
I would say completely different.
Okay.
I think, like, once you start, like, thinking about them and then you, like, you buy them roses or you do stupid stuff that,
Lesbians like flowers.
like, yes, they do. But, like, you...
Fun fact.
fun fact: they don't just like strap on.
They-
Don't just buy them beads.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, continue.
I used to send my wife flowers to work. Just like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Here's a card. Here we go. And then...
Well,
This
you
is
don't
why
want
I,
ev-
begin.
I was
gonna
This
say,
is why I want
Men
to be a
take
lesbian.
notes, please.
Yeah.
Or just
Yeah.
those stupid little text messages like, hey, I'm thinking about you right now. I'm doing this and I'm thinking about you.
Yeah, the bar is
Yeah.
on the fucking floor because men don't even do that. So
No. They don't.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. It's two girls
They're
putting
just a
in,
lot more emotionally
Yeah.
in touch, or they're a lot more in touch with their emotions, I feel like.
Yeah, because they're
Traditionally.
doing what they want every person to do to them.
Yeah. It's like their love language, kind
Yeah.
of,
Mhm.
but even more, like, I don't know.
Right.
Correct. So the last stereotype I want to ask you about is something I've heard of a few times, mostly from you, so maybe you're a biased audience, but some of my gay male friends and what you say, it feels like there's this weird unspoken feud between gay men
Yeah.
and gay women. Is this like a classic stereotype? Do you know what I'm talking about at all? Did I pull this out of the thin air?
Nope, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm a very blunt and bold person.
Correct.
I will tell you how I feel. I'm not going to sit there and hurt your feelings, but at the same time, if I don't like you, I'm probably not going to talk to you, type of a thing.
Yes.
100%.
You have a huge ball sack.
Yeah.
We do know that.
100%. To me, like, the femininity,
Yes.
Yes.
there we go.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yep.
With males being...
The stereotypical one
Yes.
with gay men, yes.
Exactly. Like, to me, like, I feel like you're acting, and you shouldn't have to act throughout your entire life.
Interesting.
You don't see being me like a man because I like women,
Correct.
so I'm not like...
We won't talk about the high neck
Ooh.
graphic tees and basketball.
Exactly.
Yes.
I
We
mean-
won't chat about it.
We don't have to bring it up.
Yeah.
But you don't see me like dropping my voice or anything like that. Like, I am who I am,
Yeah.
and I expect everybody to be like that, whether you're gay, straight, bisexual, transgender, whatever it is.
Right.
I expect you to be who you are and to be comfortable in your own body.
Interesting.
Hot take.
Okay.
But there is a weird unspoken feud.
I've heard
I
it
will
from the
say.
gay men too. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah.
But this is a thing.
Yeah. No, because
It's
and I
like
don't
a
know
lack
what
of
it is.
respect.
Yeah.
It's like it's deeper than what you think it would be.
I know. I don't know what it is, but it's a thing because I've heard it. I've seen it. It's wild.
Just the stereotypes for both, I feel like stereotypical lesbian versus
Mhm.
stereotypical gay man. I feel like it's very, like, the personalities of each stereotype are very, very different, where I feel like I could see in theoretically how they could clash, but
Mhm.
obviously it's like a case-by-case thing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
For sure.
I do have a question really quick. I think this would be more geared towards you, Double D.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Hey Mamas Lesbians phenomenon on TikTok?
No.
Oh.
What? Hey mamas.
Hey Mamas Lesbians.
Yeah,
That's-
what's going
that's what
on
they
here?
refer
Yeah.
to
Okay.
them as. It's like lots of backwards caps going on. Lots of
Okay, yeah.
you know, the
No.
douchey
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
row
Oh.
of the chin face, like
I'm in a-
squinted eyes.
Yeah.
I feel like this is more directed at me rather than Double D.
No,
Wifey used to wear snapbacks on
No,
the
no,
reg and graphic tees with basketball shorts.
but I will say I could never ever see Wifey taking her phone and pressing record
right.
to do that in front of a camera and post it and review it and then say, yep, this is going on social media.
My thing with that is like everyone is entitled to whatever they want to do. It's just not either one of our personalities
Yeah.
or what we're into. So there's definitely that group of lesbian people, which knock yourself out. That's
Yeah.
totally fine. I don't love that. I find it to be the most cringy thing.
Yeah.
Ever.
No, I don't think that's like a lesbian gay. I don't think that's a sexuality. That's like your level of how vain you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Not
yeah.
as negative context, but just
Yes.
like that's that kind of personality, which we happen to not have two vain lesbians
Yes.
in this
Right.
garage.
If there's,
Right.
if I was gonna say, if you look that up on TikTok though, you'll see exactly what I'm talking
Hey,
Yeah.
about.
mamas?
Yes,
Okay.
and that's no shade towards them because honestly, they're getting
The
a
confidence
lot,
is
they're-
wild,
and,
yeah.
Well, they're getting a lot of women. I think like certain women are very
Mhm.
attracted to that.
Yeah,
Obviously,
they are.
not all. Like me, I feel like certain things like where I see like men dancing on TikTok, I'm like, you're not for me. Like that's
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
But there are certain women that are very, very attracted to that. So like no shade towards them at all. They're pulling like they're getting girls.
Mhm.
It's just a very, very interesting thing that I feel like just kind of popped up where they're like, oh hey, okay,
Yeah,
I'm kind of hot. I can do this. It's really interesting.
There's a lot of different appeal for lesbians, and so like me, I don't love Like, I'm not into super masculine lesbians like some people are. I'm more into, like, the femi crowd. Or somewhere in between there, you know what I mean?
We've talked about this. I asked you, when you had first started dating Wifey, I said, dude, if she chops her hair, and before I finished the question, you were like, I'm done.
Yeah. I'm out. I can't do it. And when I introduced Wifey to my family, my grandma said, please tell me that she's not going to chop off her hair and put a chain on her wallet in her back pocket. And I said, no, because I'll be out at the same time. So, like, the minute that happens, if it ever does happen, I'm so sorry, but...
That is something very interesting that I've thought about, is, like, the fact that a lot of women, and obviously completely valid, don't... It's just interesting to me how sometimes certain women are attracted to other women that present themselves more, like, masculine. You know what I mean? It's interesting, like, you're not attracted to men, but you are attracted to, like, certain aspects, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, it is. But it's a wild... Lesbians are wild, man.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, everyone is valid in, like, what they like and what they don't like. It's just, that kind of did surprise me when I first, like, when I was, like, kind of took a second to think about it.
Yeah. Another thing I know that DJ wanted to talk about is your lesbian tendencies.
We're going to get to that. I have a few more questions for Wifey.
Okay.
I have been given the green light on any questions are up. So
we're
be
going
afraid. In on that.
Okay.
So, vaginas. Fine chinas.
Familiar?
If you will.
I would not say that.
Exactly my question. What do you know? So, I've heard everyone is like a snowflake.
What?
Have you?
Everyone's like a snowflake. What does that mean?
Everyone's different.
Yes.
Every single one is unique.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are both like, what?
Yeah.
Is it... Because you hear these, like, asshole men walk around and be like, oh, that girl has a gross fetish, like, blah, blah, blah. It's typically after the girl, like, ends things with him.
I was gonna say.
But as a woman who has fine china of her own, would you say that there are better or worse situations?
1,000%.
But is that going to skirt you off of them if you're super into their personality?
100%.
Oh, no!
I was with somebody who unfortunately only drank coffee. No water, no coffee.
This is no different than male cum.
Yes.
Battery acid.
People are the worst.
Battery acid cum. Yeah.
We all know.
It was something else.
No.
Yeah.
Shit.
But not only the coffee puss, but she also had roast beef lips.
I mean, yeah, they're
and
out there.
That's
those
scary.
things were swinging.
I am afraid because it could take your nose from you. Like, you know when you're little and
just
your
engulf
parents
you?
put their thumb between your middle finger and your pointer finger, and they're like, I got your nose. Vagina lips doing that to you.
100%.
Forget about it.
They just engulf you. Scurry.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Okay, so on the topic of going down on women, I know that, like, blowjobs are a thing you talk about in, like, the locker room in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
How did you learn to go down on a woman? I
Honestly,
feel like that's way more complicated than a blowy.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Right?
Honestly, I, like, stared at it for, like, 5 minutes, and I'm like,
Talk to
Stared
it.
at it, trying to-
yes, and I'm like, I just gotta do it. Okay, here we go. Oh, nope.
Gave it a little
Not yet.
pep talk.
Here we go. Okay, maybe not.
It's like the countdown when you go bungee jumping.
Exactly.
You stay up there for 10 minutes.
I'm not gonna lie, I did have to, like, find it with my hands just because I was under the covers, and I was like, ugh.
A lot of men don't find it at all. So.
Yeah, and then they're, like,
Yeah.
on your thigh, and you're like, what are you doing?
Oh.
I saw a tweet one time, and this girl said, she said, every time I listen to Teenage Dream by Katy Perry, I get PTSD because I think about the time that I gave someone a hand job, and he came in my hand and then said, was that good for you? And if that doesn't sum up men, like, that's the most...
What's that?
And then someone else responded and said, well, was it? And she was like, no, it was not. But that just really reminded me of that. They're like, oh, is that good for you? It's like, no, thanks, though, I guess, for half-heartedly asking.
Yeah, that's like when a guy, like, you're having sex with a guy or whatever, and it takes 45 seconds, and then they're like, did you do it too? Did you come too? Like,
You probably know.
What do you want me to say
no.
here?
Do you want me to lie?
Was it good for you? No, it wasn't, but was it good for you?
So it clearly was for you.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. Okay.
Also, ladies, all vaginas are valid, but please stay hydrated. So that coffee.
It's like
the roast beef you can't do
controllables
anything about.
versus
But
things you can't control is what we're gonna judge you on.
Yeah.
You can control how hydrated you are.
right.
If you want to have 6 coffees all day, polish it off with some coconut water. It's not fucking hard.
Pineapple juice.
If you've
Pineapple
got some
juice,
roast
yes.
beef, you're good, girl.
Well, yeah,
You're-
there's nothing
you're
you can
gonna
do
find
about
love.
that.
You
So
really can't.
yeah.
But okay, so on the topic of DJ, myself, I wishing more than anything I could be a lesbian. I have some questions for Wifey on maybe I am a lesbian.
I 100% don't think you are.
Well, let's talk about it.
It's a new
though.
quiz.
Yeah.
So, when I was younger, I would say this was 7th, 8th grade. I haven't made out with boys yet. So at sleepovers, my girlfriends and I would put a thin blanket in between us and make out through the blanket.
Okay,
I know somebody else did this.
I've heard
No.
that. I've
How
heard.
did you practice making out?
On
I-
boys.
I will say
you put
on
your hand
boy.
up.
I didn't
No.
do that, but I have heard of other people doing that. I will say, not the blanket thing, but like practicing a
kissing
little
with
with
your
their
friends.
girlfriends. Yeah,
I've never kissed
I didn't
any one
do.
of my friends.
Yeah, I didn't do
I
that.
Except
kissed you.
except
Fuck
DJ.
off.
Sorry.
I didn't do that, but I have heard of other people doing that. So
I thought this
don't
was a
know.
classic middle school.
That's like a more
coming of age.
That's a. I
No.
was gonna say that's a very.
That's in like a-
movie coming
yeah.
of age.
Yeah.
You put your
Sitch.
hand up and then you make out. So then
You make out with your own hand,
No, the person is on the other side of the hand.
but then you can't feel how other lips move.
Well, then you're just making out with the girl. So then I guess you're a lesbian.
I won. Okay, we can end it there.
You're bi-curious for sure.
100%. I think you're bi-curious with your mouth and not other parts.
You're
Okay.
bi-curious until it's your turn.
Okay, see, that's my thing.
Yeah.
I have dreams of a woman going down on me,
hmm
but you could not pay me enough to go down on a woman's fine
Then
china.
you're not. I think that
Yeah.
right there.
That's what I'm saying. That
That's-
you're.
But I'd rather have a woman go down on me than a man.
Yeah.
Because a woman knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I've talked to people too, besides our other two lesbians in
Yeah.
the studio, and they've said like, if you think you're lesbian, like visualize yourself, like, can you imagine yourself eating pussy? And
Nope.
if the answer is no, then you're probably not.
But that's the thing is, like, when I was 17, 18, 16, like, I couldn't imagine that. I was
so
like,
there's still hope.
There's still hope for you, DJ.
I might still be gay, don't worry, guys.
oh, I think so.
Okay, other things that I wonder if it counts.
Okay.
A threesome's on my bucket list, as it is everybody's.
With a male or a female?
That's the thing. I would never do it me and 2 males, at least for my first round.
Good God, you would get just
Two
annihilated.
Pile
guys,
drive,
that's so,
yeah.
That's so much overstimulating. I'd probably have a panic attack. But I would not only do it with a girl and a guy, I'd be down for 2 girls. Am I gay?
No.
Huh.
No, because you wouldn't go down on them. I guarantee it. It
We're
would
really
be.
gonna get stuck on that, aren't we?
Well,
That's
would
like
you-
a very pivotal
unless-
part.
Here's the thing. Would you flick their bean?
Yeah.
Oh, well then maybe.
It's not better than flicking my own bean. I'm not gonna eat myself out either.
Then
I
Here's,
drink
Maybe.
a lot of coffee.
here's the real question. Could you put on a strap on and pile drive them?
Yeah, I'd peg a dude as well.
Oh, wow.
So-
Good for you.
I think you're bisexual.
I think you're bisexual.
I think sexually, for sure, I'm bisexual.
Yeah.
Romantically, the idea of going on a date with a woman, I'm like, what the fuck would we talk about?
I feel like you
It's
would-
no
Probably
different
a
than
lot
your
more, yeah.
friends.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be 10 times more comfortable with a woman.
Huh.
Maybe,
I
might not have
to-
maybe we won't have to be buzzed before dates.
Yeah, that's what I was
Go
gonna
out with
say.
women.
Wait, you know, that's another,
Hot take.
that's another episode.
Wait, can I ask something? Have you ever hooked up with a woman?
I've only made out with women. This is why the threesome's on my bucket list. 'Cause,
Yeah, I was gonna say
want
she tried to
get
make out with me
sexual.
once.
What do you mean try? We made out. We hit some teeth. It
We
was
knocked
pretty-
teeth. Yeah, we
It
knocked
was a
teeth.
confusing high school night.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my last point. In college, I had a boyfriend, but like, anytime I got drunk, I only wanted to make out with my girlfriends.
So,
Am I gay?
like, what's your, like, woman and what's your man that you want that threesome with?
Ooh.
Like, physique-wise?
Tall, dark, and handsome.
Oh, well, this is just like my type.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your type for a woman?
For a woman, I basically want me replicated. I like...
We love
if
confidence.
there was this, like, huge pair of tits, I would drown in them. I wouldn't know
Yeah.
what to do. They freak me out. I don't like big boobs.
So it's
I
like
want,
it's more of like you being familiar like with yourself, kind of, so you would like know what to do with someone.
It's even
else.
like when I'm watching porn, I'm not attracted to huge tits. I want like a petite and like leaner body. I don't even want a fat ass. Like I
You
want
just
things
want-
I can handle. I have really small hands. Is it because of how small my hands are?
It might be.
Probably,
That's
you
why I
probably
don't
just get
like big
overwhelmed with anything like too
Yeah.
large.
Yeah. And like nipples kind of freak me out.
I'm with you there.
So if you have
Dude,
a small
yeah.
dick, maybe DJ is the woman for you.
DJ likes boyfriend dick.
I like boyfriend dick. We've discussed.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so I might be gay. Is kind of where we're landing.
I think
I
we're
think you might be bisexual.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
kind of hot.
maybe
That's
you
kind of fun.
maybe you should flick on the girls like filter on your dating apps.
I downloaded a threesome app called
Ooh.
3 Fun.
Wow. What a name.
Okay.
I'd love to just follow you around for a day.
that,
Just what goes on, I wonder.
that felt like a good starting point. Unfortunately, I switched to girls on a dating app at one point in my life. I ran into this girl I used to play sports with, and I was like, this can't get back to my parents. I don't even know if I'm gay yet.
Yeah.
Like, I can't have that talk.
You're like, this was just supposed to be a fun experiment.
Yeah.
Let's-
So that's when I got real, so I can't really do that. But the 3 Fun app seemed like a good outlet for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe you should get back on it
Maybe.
and test her out.
Oh, sorry, no, I can't. The age difference, Jesus.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're
You have
like
to be like 60 plus to want a threesome publicly. It's horrific.
Except if you're DJ.
Yeah, like,
maybe
where
we
are
should
my
find you
people?
a different app or do a profile of you just looking for a threesome. I've seen that several times.
Yeah, there are so
Yeah.
many profiles of like, but it's always
We're
always
looking
a
for a
hideous
third.
boyfriend. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's always a hideous boyfriend or a hideous girlfriend. Like one of
It's
them's
usually
hot, the
like-
other one's not.
Yeah.
cool.
Interesting.
It's really
90 Day
You
Fiancé is looking for one.
I was gonna say you might be
Fuck.
maybe you should try a throuple situation where you're dating both the male and the
No,
female.
emotionally, I'm very different than I am sexually. I know this about myself.
I feel
Yeah.
like you
I
would
can't
get so
share
overwhelmed
emotionally.
with two people. I feel like anyone would really get overwhelmed with two other
Mhm.
people in a relate. Oh,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Anyways, so am I gay? Am I not gay? I don't know. But Wifey,
Time will tell.
it was a blessing. Is there anything you want to say to your new fans?
Negative.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Here we are.
First interview in the
Yeah.
books. Next week when we talk, we are going to be having quite a special guest to be interviewing, and what he has to say might shock you.
Oh, it will.
It might piss you off because he pisses us off.
It might scare you.
Yeah. All emotions are valid and welcome with this guest. And I'll just leave it at that.
Bye, bitches.